Welcome back to the collaboration space. I'm your host, Matthew DeFreitas. Today we're discussing how higher ed institutions can build future-ready campuses by investing in scalable AV and UC solutions. I'm joined today by AVI-SPL's Jimmie Singleton and Bose Professional's Steve Miller to speak to this topic. Jimmie, Steve, welcome to the collaboration space.
Thanks, Matthew. Excited to be here.
Glad to be part of the conversation. Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, thank you both again for joining. When discussing future readiness, we're often referring to using advanced AV and UC tech along with expert support to create an infrastructure, if you will, that engages and empowers people, and it streamlines collaboration and it adapts to evolving end user and IT needs. Jimmie, from your viewpoint, is higher ed addressing future readiness on campus? And if so, based on our definition, what are they looking for?
Yeah, so in higher ed, I mean, future ready is a big part of it, but also a big part of it is being as flexible as possible, right? Being future flexible, being ready for what changes might come, right? As soon as we put technology in 2 years, it's already outdated, right? So how do we keep up with it? It's about having AV setups that can flex with size of spaces. They can scale up or down. If we have a 20-person classroom versus a 200-person auditorium, how can we make that user experience as close as possible? But keep technology, fairly similar and be able to move that larger and larger. And a big part of that is audio and how it expands to the space that it's going to be in.
Definitely. And, what I hear a lot there is, flexibility is key in all of this. And so, Steve, why don't we bring you in here? When you think about future ready audio on campus, being at Bose Professional, what's your organization's approach?
Well, the first step is the discovery process. So we understand what type of experience is needed for that space and how the audio solution supports it. So it may be just voice lift where we need really good intelligibility for spoken word, or it might be something where it's more dynamic or multi-purpose space where you have media playback and you need music or different, there could be a lot of different things that are needed for it. So it's important for us to understand where we fit in with the experience. One of the products or in categories that we came out with not too long ago was called EdgeMax. And it actually has been quite a standout. I wouldn't call it the Swiss Army knife for every project, but it certainly has been a big benefit for education market for a number of reasons. One big reason is, and kind of where it differentiates itself is it behaves very similar to like a surface speaker would, where you get some big benefits out of surface speakers. You get a lot of coverage, and sometimes you get a lot of big output. But the drawback is that you've got equipment on the wall. Where this is actually a ceiling speaker using a certain type of phase guide that steers sound out into the room. So it's actually installed on the perimeter of the room, often above a monitor in the ceiling. So it provides a lot of really good benefits. One of them being just a very clean look. Second is you get that nice big output out of a ceiling speaker, and it can cover quite an area. And another one to point out is fewer install points. So that can actually become a savings for the end users as well. So cleaner look, great performance, and fewer installs points.
So it gives you that wall speaker performance, but in a ceiling form factor, if you will.
Exactly. I mean, in more conventional ways, which sometimes it's necessary to do, you'll see a distribution of ceiling speakers, and those have been used because aesthetically they look a lot better, but it takes more of them to cover a room. And the other approach is a surface speaker. So this way, again, we get a ceiling speaker behaving like a surface speaker, and it can really provide and give a lot of benefit of the localization where you're seeing the screen and the voice is coming from that area. And again, for people that just don't want a lot of gear on the walls, it really cleans up the room quite a bit.
Yeah, and to add to that, I mean, we've worked on spaces where wall-mounted options just aren't an option, or ceilings are specific, and there's only certain mounting places that we can put them in. So we team up with Bose Professional to design something that fits EdgeMax in there, and hits the clarity, hits the aesthetics that they're looking for. But that kind of adaptability, that flexibility, is what we're looking for in higher education most of the time.
Adaptable audio, I'm curious, it's one of the many AV and UC elements that plays a big role in the future ready campus design, as we've kind of alluded to. Getting there takes the right technology and strong expertise to design and plan these scalable spaces with flexible solutions. What does the design and planning process look like when AVI-SPL and Bose work together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal for universities. They want, they want to know that there's a team behind it that are, there to solve your problem, right? They're looking for a solution to a problem you're having. So when you team up with us and Bose Professional, right, it's our design engineers and their design engineers working together to plan for today and then plan for the future, right? How can we make this as scalable and as adaptable as possible, and then help them make smart investments, right? We're trying to kind of be a problem solver, but also make sure that they have something reliable and that's going to last a long time in their spaces, and it's going to continue to do what they need it to do.
That collaboration is really an important part of the process. So in many examples where I've seen it really be quite effective is where one of our field engineers has come in to support and is in the conversations with AVI-SPL's design team as well as the end user. And we get a lot of, good understanding of what that space how it needs to work. And we'll use our modeling, software to be able to provide design confirmation or performance confirmation. But again, it really helps that tech manager have peace of mind. And before they make their final investments, they know they've got a team behind them that's going to help make it work.
Super insightful stuff, guys. Thank you both for chatting with me about this topic today. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the higher ed leaders listening today on, what it takes to build that future ready campus?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last, thing to kind of close off with, I think, is future ready doesn't have to mean flashy, right? It doesn't have to be this crazy thing that we're doing something out there every single room. It's about making sure every space is delivering a quality experience, regardless of size, regardless of use. And that really only happens when you get tech and partners to work together with you, and you bring in all the partners needed to make something fully scalable and adaptable.
Yeah, we're both professionals bringing in the equipment, the support. AVI-SPL has the expertise, the know-how for the integration. It works quite well, and we're taking an approach of a very practical approach, and it's done, where we're catering to each space. So it's a quite effective process.
Jimmie, Steve, thanks again for joining me today on the collaboration space. I really appreciate your insights on what it's taking to build a future ready campus in the higher ed space. And again, thank you very much for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to everyone watching and listening, if you'd like to learn more about Bose Professional Solutions or how AVI-SPL helps higher ed scale with AV and UC solutions, check the links in our show notes. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel or find the collaboration space on your favorite podcast app. Until next time, goodbye for now. For more information, visit avispl.com/Bose-professional.